president of the ONYXCON Foundation. As per usual, when I get a chance, I like to go live and chit chat with my peoples. I just did y'all a shout out too. I just did a little quick short seconds ago. Just letting y'all know, man, my monetization nation, y'all the reason for the season. I was talking about the season is changing. I love fall. I love when the leaves change. That's my thing. It's the leaves for me. It's all about them leaves. And it's just, the color is incredible. But we still planning to do some major content in regards to that. I've been talking about it off and on, how I want to go and go to a special park that I've been to before. Oh, hell, I done been before. I can talk about it again. I want to go back to Amicalola Falls. And if you haven't seen that video, check that out. If you look up, if you just, search within ONYXCON and say Amicalola, you're going to see it. Amicalola, just like it sounds. A-M-I, okay? C-A, okay? L-O, okay? L-A, all right, Amicalola, look it up. And that is a native indigenous name. So anyway, yeah, I want to go back. I want to visit that again. See it this time of year with the leaves changed around the waterfalls. It's going to be right on to the right on. And I got to do it soon, because I'm talking and I'm looking as I'm saying this and looking at how the leaves are hitting the ground left and right, because we're getting rain, and every rain storm or whatever, and the wind, it blows the leaves off. Before you know it, they naked and they just look like skeletons. And that's the dead part of winter right there, when it look like that. So you only get that joy of seeing that usually through November, but you can't call this weather no more. It was damn near like summertime just a day ago. Then it got cold yesterday, or cool yesterday. It's coldish today. It's 59 degrees, you know what I'm saying? So it's now or never is the way I look at that. It's like, you gotta go. So I'm thinking I might do it maybe this weekend. We'll see what's up. But oh man, that was beautiful. I just saw one of them trees be all orange. Oh, I love it, I love it. Anyway, so in other news, shout out to Shannon Sharp and Club Shay Shay, which is always a good interview. He just does some of the best interviews of all the folks doing podcasts, and I respect that, because I do interviews here at ONYXCON. We got a history of that. If you're not familiar, look at all of our playlists, see ONYXCON exclusives, and that consists mostly of our podcasts, as they get called. Everything that's an interview is a podcast. I'm sorry, I can't help but always mention it every time I say it, because I remember when podcast was just voice. That's it. It was just audio, a real podcast. And now everybody want to label everything a podcast. But he does some of the best in the game, and so do we. So check out some of it. We got some amazing people we've interviewed over the years. Neville Page. Oh my gosh, some of my other names. Tony Taylor. T-O-N-I Taylor. Legendary fantasy artist. She's amazing. Turtel On Lee did that one on Instagram, and I think I got clips of it here. If not, check out our IGTV at ONYXCON on Instagram. It's over there. And but no, I was looking at Shannon Sharp's show, and his latest interview is with Miss Pat from the Miss Pat show. If you're not familiar, on BET Plus. Shout out to Miss Pat. Yeah. And it's funny to say that, because I'm from Atlanta, born and raised. Miss Pat's from Atlanta. And I knew who Miss Pat was before I ended up working on the show. I actually work in the film business, right? So, in front of the camera and behind the camera. Haven't had the honor of being in front of the camera on that show yet. But Miss Pat, if you see this, come on, hook me up. Let me get my trailer. Let me get my day player role. You know what I'm saying? My couple of lines, But it was an honor to work on that show. It was a lot of fun working on that show. It's been one of the most fun shows I've ever worked on, doing PA work, production assistant. And I didn't know a lot about her and her journey and what she had been through. All I knew, to be honest, I made the mistake a lot of people make when they hear, if they know anything about Miss Pat, you mention Miss Pat, some people say, oh yeah, that's the Tyler Perry show, right? Because it can be some of the same kind of over-the-top humor and stuff, and can be kind of ratchet. Straight up, Miss Pat can get raunchy when she wants to. But now that I know more about her history, I understand why. And I understood this when I was there, but I just, it was just, a job. I got it through a connection. I get on set the first day and I'm thinking, you know, some people had to tell me like, no, it's not Tyler Perry. It's her own production company. It's for BET Plus. I said, oh, okay, word. I said, did she ever work for them or anything? I don't think that ever happened. Did she ever work for Perry or anything? She might know him or whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying. But it was interesting because once I got on set and I'm watching, you know, the stories unfold, and, you know, I got access to the script and I'm looking at that and I'm looking at the lines being delivered and seeing how, as with every comedy thing I've ever worked on, comedians don't give a damn about no script. Let me tell you, they go off script like nobody does. They will say whatever they want, however they're gonna do the scene. It's gonna be on point. It's gonna stay within whatever the scene is. It's gonna be that. They're not gonna go too far, but they will play with the lines and have their fun. And she's a master of that. Miss Pat is a master of that. It will have you howling. I mean, I'm talking about, there was days on set where she was just going into her stand-up comedian natural self, and we couldn't finish the scene. We'd had to take a break, go to lunch, come back, because we ain't gonna finish this scene right now. She just in a zone where it's too much funny, and everybody's laughing, camera people laughing, everybody laughing. It'll be fun, y'all. It'll be fun. She wild though. She gonna be wild with it. But I didn't know the stuff she had been through that made her who she is. I didn't know the abuse and all the oppression she had went through so young. She was a teenage mom, against her will, quite frankly. I mean, you know, tricked into it by an older guy who was in his 20s, who's still a kid technically. You talking about 20? That ain't no grown man. You know, that's kitty man. You know, it's not even fully grown, real. They say the brain don't fully develop until like 25 to 27. So, but this guy was messing around with young folk, and her mom had been a young mother, and it's just been a history of, you know, really dysfunctional parenting and family structure. And this is her telling that for her own truth. You can hear it in her own words. She wrote a book about her life called Rabbit, because that was her nickname when she was in the streets and stuff. And at a young age, you know, she got out there. I mean, like really out there, to the point she was, you know, into the drug game. She was robbing folks. She was pickpocketing. She tell it all. It's all in the interview, and then, like I said, it's already been told in her book. And I'm hearing about this stuff on set from people who knew her, friends of hers, because she hired a lot of her friends and family to work on the production. And I'm, you know, getting that direct to be able to meet people and get to know them. And I'll never forget just realizing how deep it went. And I said, golly. But what blew my mind is to see the person she's become. Like, you know, yeah, she could still, you know, like, we all use a joke. We say, man, don't get it twisted. I mean, yeah, it's work and this is Hollywood and all that, but don't, you know, folks still from what they from, and they ain't gonna hear no mess. So like, every now and then you hear about somebody try to say something the wrong way or do something the wrong way. She tell them off on the in front of everybody. She didn't care, and I can respect that, because it's like, yo, you gonna respect the person that you hit. The name of the show is, you know what I'm saying? You gonna respect the queen. Like, come on, what the hell? So, but I'm lucky to say and happy to say, you know, I never had it. I never got checked or anything, because like I say, I believe in respect. I always say, my phrase here that I'm always pushing is respect, power, money, in that order. Like Prodigy from Mobb Deep said, respect, power, money, in that exact order, okay? And I was saying respect, power, money in reverse of what Lil' Kim said about money, power, respect, money, power, respect. And I hate to say the Lox was the track, you know, but I'm sure the Lox I'm pretty sure, especially Styles P, the Ghost, you know, of all the members of the Lox, if I had to put them in order of who I like most lyrically, it would be like Styles P, then, and most people be like, what? Because they just go with the popular trend versus, you know, genuinely what they might like or why. And then Jadakiss, and then the big guy, who I hate to say, I forget bruh's name. Like, I know his face when I see him. I know he's part of the Lox, but, and it's not because he's unforgettable, you know, he's forgettable or anything like that. It's just, honestly, in fame, he didn't go solo, or if he did, his album didn't do as well as the other guys going solo. So it's not like I know him like that, to be honest. I'm just being real. It's not, no disrespect. He just, of the guys in the Lox, it's like Jada made himself, he was already known, already respected, but he made himself an absolute legend after that doggone Versus, and how he went off and, you know, did the whole freestyle and all that, the acapella of lyrics. Some of it was already written, other stuff, you know, freestyle. And then, you know, but Styles P, man, I've been up on his stuff for a while. So anyway, back to the point is that was a track they'd made, and Lil' Kim was on there as a feature, and she said that famous line. But like I said, that was the chorus of the song. But I just never, even when it came out back in the day, I was like, something off about the way they do it. You know, these folks so dang money obsessed, money. No. Ain't nobody gonna give you no real money. They give you some money that they want back. They'll give you some money to hold you hostage, enslave you, and pimp you, and play you, and say you got power, and make you think you got power, and to make you think you got respect. That's not respect. No, it don't go in that order. It goes respect first, real respect, then power, then money. And, you know, back to my original topic, I think Miss Pat's life is a testament to that. You know, she came from no money to all kind of money. She's good. She's damn good right now. You know, Pat is rich, straight up. She chilling. You know what I'm saying? Got her whole family chilling. She got true generational wealth. But that came because, and she says it in this, you know, Shannon Sharp interview, is just, she talks about overcoming and forgiving all the people who had done her wrong, and creating all types of levels of boundaries and things that go with respect. Like, she developed respect in her life, and that gave her the power to negotiate her worth as a comedian, to therefore get a show on BET and be the legend she is now. So she deserves every bit. It's an amazing story. Like, you know, my thing, I always say, what, you know, being somebody who didn't come from that kind of struggle and everything, but I know so many people who did, I always say, I can deal with anybody. I can be cool with anybody. I can work with anybody, as long as, back to the word again, as long as respect's involved. You deal with people who feel like, I came from nothing, and because of that, they so angry. They got no respect, but they still think they got power because they got a chip on their shoulder. I know how to fight. I know how to kill. I know fighting and killing and all that. That's a human instinct. Anybody can pull that out themselves if necessary and set the record. Like, no, that's not again, that's not what gives you respect. So when I see somebody who came from all of that and knows how to move and condition themselves to be a success, I respect that. I don't care from what walk of life. I can respect anybody from any walk of life if you coming like that, because that's the formula. They got respect. And they done been around enough other types of people to understand, don't nobody care about that. Like, all that, you know, I went through this and I went, yeah, well, you think people who have money or opportunities and benefits don't have struggle. We got struggle too. It's a different type, but we got mental struggles. We got financial struggles. Even, you know, and I ain't never been the rich one. I'm working on that part. But I'm saying it's always a thing. Wow, that's crazy. I'm passing by some signs. They out here shooting somewhere. And when I say shooting, I'm talking about film. There are these yellow signs they put up to say where they're, how to get to set. It's like the yellow, I call it the yellow brick road whenever you're driving in Atlanta or anywhere. Well, especially in Atlanta, because I don't even know if they do that in LA. I put it like this: in all my times in LA, I never saw yellow signs. I think that's an Atlanta ATL would film thing, because they have these little yellow signs that will have code names that only people in the biz know what it is if you're trying to go to set. But anyway, somebody's out here near where I'm at shooting something. I got to find out what's going on. That's close enough to make it easy on the gas. I need to, always looking for the work. I need to check some of my resources and find out what's popping out here. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, it's just about respect, period, y'all. Yeah. If the thought of the word makes you cringe because you done bought into the ratchet culture, the ratchet culturalization of a whole generation, and I mean worldwide. I've seen this thing coming for years. It didn't start with y'all young ones, but y'all embraced it. You know, hook, line, and sinker, as they say. My generation started it. I never put it all on the kids. It ain't because of them. If it wasn't for fools in my time acting like they acted, and the problem is people like myself who wasn't acting the fool didn't have enough. We had respect, but we didn't have the power that they have amongst their little. That's the other problem with corruption. See, when people who don't have respect, who do go by the money, power, respect formula, get together, birds of a feather flock together. So they'll give each other false power. They'll give each other false money. But as you can see with Diddy, as you can see with R. Kelly, as you can see with Who else I want to put on this list? I could just keep going. As you can see, it don't matter that he's been re-elected. Okay? You can see with this class, you will see, I'll put it like, you'll see. You'll see. It's not going to turn out good. It always seems so good for them. Like, man, it's so sweet for them. They always get everything. It seems like they always get whatever they want. No. That's because a lot of people are good with being dysfunctional. They come from dysfunction. They only want to be around dysfunction. And they can only accept dysfunction. So they happily dysfunctional. Whether rich or poor. Or in between. That's their culture. They like that. That's why they want to call everything the culture. That's why I don't call it that. What you talking about the culture? And what? We shooting and banging and drug dealing and disrespecting and no, hell no. No, that's not. That ain't my culture. Nope. Hell no. That's not my culture. That's not my culture. If it get to all that, you know what I'm saying, aggression and what, there's a reason for the season. There's gonna be something. We going to war. We're going to war for something real. Not for no points on the board. Well, he sure did whoop his ass. So what? What came of it? The hood's still the hood. A few generations later, the people don't even respect the ones who did all that. The next generation of thugs, they don't respect none of that. They want to be the king. They don't care nothing about who was before them. It's nothing. It's nothing. At the end of the day, it's nothing. The only thing that will ever turn that ship around is true respect. You got to have real respect, y'all. I saw a great moment, because I'm going to be on this for a minute, because I think that's what's lacking. And I think that's why we got what we got with this election, because there's so many people that really think it's cool to be disrespectful. We got to get back to respect, y'all. We got to get back to respect. So I was watching, there was a little quick snippet, and I put it up on our Instagram. If you're not following our Instagram, do that too. At ONYXCON. Oh, let me see, was it Instagram or our YouTube? We got so many things, I be forgetting which one I posted on sometimes, but you know how you link some of them, so maybe if it was on my Instagram, it still showed up on my Facebook, because I got those linked for ONYXCON. But anyway, Denzel, as he says is the proper pronunciation, was going to one of these premieres for Gladiator 2. You know, he's on the press junket tour right now. That's what happens when you do a major project like that. You go out there and you put the word out about it, right? And paparazzi doing paparazzi stuff that has become, and see, even me saying it like that, like some people done got so used to this nonsense, they think it's normal to be disrespectful and yelling any old kind of way and talking to folk all crazy. And Denzel was like, look, don't get it twisted, just because I'm an A-list star, I'll check your ace. And he walked over to him and told him, y'all chill out. You're doing too much. In so many words, you know, not paraphrasing. And he straightened them out. They all got quiet like little school kids. And you can tell, because, again, no one ever does that with them. Or not enough do it with them, to where they would fear to do that and be disrespectful and not get the opportunity to get that picture they're trying to get or whatever. So, you know, it's a code to everything, y'all. It's a code to everything. The best of the best understand it, and they press it. And that's what we're going to keep doing until we get this record right. I'm Joseph R. Wheeler III. Go watch that Shay Shay interview with Miss Pat. Shout out Miss Pat. Season 5 coming. Let's go.